right.
Yeah. Well, I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine.
That's right. Here's why.
Yeah. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy. Clap along.
Yes,
You
family.
feel like a room
It's
without a roof. Because I'm happy.
15, attitude of gratitude. What you happy for, family? That's correct. Everybody, please mute out for me. Thank you very much. First, I give thanks for the creative source of this universe, and I give thanks to my mother, Shirley Hardy, the elder in my life. Thank you for joining us and sharing with us how you are moving from disease care to conscious self-health care. Call in and share about the provider that is assisting you on this journey to total wellness. We wish to honor your walk from the old belief system of disease treatment for correcting your cellular malfunctions. Family, community, and friends, believe me, it's not selfish to honor yourself, love yourself, put yourself first, and by all means, take care of yourself and make your happiness a priority. It's time to connect to the vibration of happiness. Why? Being healthy starts with being happy, and those who are happy are much, much healthier. Greetings to you all in love and kindness. Thank you for tuning in via the internet through our conference line and for sharing the good news from this show to your family and friends. Thank you to our news listeners, and we're so happy to have you join us. You are tuned into Heart to Heart Healthy Living with Dr. K on the airwaves of Inner Light Radio, the healing frequency. And yes, this is a live broadcast. You can email questions or comments to innerlightradio@yahoo.com. innerlightradio@yahoo.com. You can Facebook Brother Jamal with a comment or question, and you can call in and share 310-928-7733. And we do ask that you mute your phone. You are entering a live chat room, and I will invite you to join the conversation by your phone number or your Skype name. So welcome to the Conscious Wellness Checkpoint. For you, it could be that choice point. Now it's time to check the pulse of your thoughts, your consciousness, and your actions. My regular friends joining me in the chat room is Rachel Pope, Blessings Flow Empire, Waldorf, Maryland, Wanda K. Whitaker, Anchored in Spirit, Pacifica, California, and once again, I'm Dr. Karen Khadijah Davis-Foulks from Washington, D.C. Our special guest joining us tonight on the call from California is Dr. John Bergman of Bergman's Family Chiropractic Center, and he has the website ownersguide.com, and it's all about how to take care of yourself in the right manner. And Dr. Bergman is going to be joining us this evening and sharing with us the first 15 minutes of the show. And he's going to address some specific questions that I have for him tonight to help some callers that's on the line. So family, community, and friends, the truth of the matter is life is consciousness. Health is all about consciousness, and healing is a function of consciousness. So get ready, sit back, open your mind, expand your awareness, and allow some new information to come in to help you move into that direction of conscious self-health care. Dr. Bergman, thank you so much for taking the time and joining us for the first 15 minutes of this show today.
Doc, it is my honor. I love that intro. You are so right on.
Thank you. Dr. Bergman, I'd like for you just to take a moment and just introduce yourself to our listening audience. I mean, we love the fact that you have all these wonderful YouTubes on video to help bring people into awareness about how to better care for themselves. And after you introduce yourself, I'd like for you to start your conversation with answering the question, how do you define medical hexing? I think I would get you.
Doc, that's a for sure pattern interrupt there. I'm Dr. Bergman. I've taught anatomy and physiology, human dissection, for over 8 years, and I've been in practice for 18 years. And what we've done is we've got a different view of health where the body is designed. It's self-regulating and self-healing. And this is where most of the people miss that big picture. The healthcare system today in medical hexing makes sense because they're actually putting a label on a collection of symptoms and then giving you a chemical to alter your physiology to match whatever chart or pattern that they think is healthy. And so they're discounting the fact that the body is self-healing and self-regulating. So the entire medical system of giving a chemical to alter physiology is a foolish approach. There's no studies out there that show by chemically lowering blood pressure or chemically lowering cholesterol that you live a longer, healthier, disease-free life. So that's a bad approach.
Bad approach, bad approach, bad approach. Now, most people feel as though that, and one of the biggest things that, even though it's not number one or number two, but I believe it's one of the most highly used drugs, and that is for high blood pressure. And I know from your videos and from my own studies that they don't even do the blood. If they want to say they have it, they don't even do the blood pressure check right to tell somebody they do have high blood pressure. So what would you like to say to those individuals that believe they have high blood pressure, must use chemicals to correct it, and they're stuck on those pharmaceuticals for the rest of their life?
A great thing is that, and this is what I tell all my patients, take it correctly. Now, when you talk to people, you say, well, no, they do take it correctly. Really. And just look at this logically. Do you want to take blood pressure when you're working out at the gym or when you're bike riding? No, because that'll be high. And this is common sense. People know that blood pressure is going to go up when you work out. And the medical world, they say, well, high blood pressure is bad and dangerous. Well, if that were true, there wouldn't be a gym open. You got to figure when you're out there lifting weights, you're turning red in the face, your heart rate's going up. And it turns out that people work out at a gym, or people that regularly raise their blood pressure under stress, live longer and healthier. And so in actual fact, your body is designed, and when you're lifting weights, to generate a blood pressure of 400 over 200. That's a normal blood pressure for someone who's straining lifting weights. So you can lower blood pressure by sitting down, 10 minutes, deep breathing, making sure that you're drinking water, having a healthy amount of water, not talking. Your arm is level with your heart. Deep breathe for 10 minutes, take it, and you'll see it's low. And the problem is to take a chemical to lower blood pressure, you're slowing down the function of blood. And look at the functions of blood. It regulates pH, it carries oxygen, it detoxes the system, vital to the immune system. And when you slow that pump down, when you decrease blood pressure, you're slowing down the physiology or the function of blood. This is why, if you take a blood pressure drug to force it down, the body's going to respond by constricting blood vessels to raise it or to increase energy in the blood or increasing diabetes, the blood sugar, in order to get more energy in the body to elevate that blood pressure. Just sit down, deep breathe for 10 minutes and take it.
Wow. Very plain, very simplistic. It's not complicated, family and community and friends. Believe me, this comes from years and years of study and research. Just keep it simple. That's it. And Dr. Bergman has a video out on YouTube that you can go out and learn more about high blood pressure. So, Dr. Bergman, talk to us about cholesterol. This is big myth about cholesterol. We need cholesterol, family community. When we take these statins, we are definitely doing some Dr. Bergman, I'll let you speak.
Devastating effects to the brain, immune system, hormones, and tissue repair. One of my favorite patients, he's a pediatrician. He'll give cholesterol supplements to kids with autism with neurologic damage. He actually gives cholesterol supplements. Now, first off, cholesterol does not clog arteries. Cholesterol does not clog arteries. We got to make T-shirts that say that. The cholesterol is one of the most vital components, that it's the precursor, it's the building product that your body uses to make every glucocorticosteroid, mineralocorticosteroid, sex hormone. So we're talking estrogen, testosterone, progesterone. It's responsible for tissue repair, and it makes the greatest anti-inflammatory known, called cortisol. So now if you have, let's say you have a diet high in fast food or high in toxic food products, or you have a lifestyle where you're damaging tissue from smoking or drinking or microwave foods, that's going to damage the tissue. So the body, in its infinite wisdom, is going to increase cortisol production. Or if you have stress, cortisol is produced. Well, by gosh, the body's got to make cortisol, and it uses cholesterol as the building product. If it has to make testosterone or estrogen or progesterone, it uses cholesterol as the building product to make it. So to protect your body from cancers, you got to produce progesterone. To produce progesterone, you got to make cholesterol. And your body makes 80% of all the total cholesterol that you need. Only 20% comes from the diet.
Yeah. Family and community, let's keep it simple. Let's keep it plain. Go ahead, Dr. Berger.
Yeah, the brain is also mainly cholesterol. So you're looking at the side effects of taking a cholesterol-lowering drug, and you're talking altered function of the brain, altered function of the hormones, and what's wiping out and decreased ability to fight cancers. It's absolutely insanity to second-guess the physiology of the body for the sale of a drug. I just had a patient, 89 years old, and his goal is to ride a bike 90 miles at 90 years old. And his blood pressure was 105/50, and his heart rate was 93. Now, normal blood pressure for somebody around that age, I'm looking like 150/90 would be good. So his blood pressure was dangerously low. His heart rate was dangerously high, and he's taken 3 blood pressure medications. Doc, this is a typical patient. Their body is trying to adapt to this toxic influence of cholesterol and blood pressure drugs, and it's wiping out their normal physiology. It's illogical.
It is. That's what we have to do. We have to take back our reasoning, and that's what happened. You feel like you cannot reason for yourself, and that's what we have to get back to. But I'm going to keep moving right along and talk a little bit about the thyroid.
The thyroid. It never functions in an isolated environment. So if you've been diagnosed with a thyroid, low functioning or high functioning, hyper or hypothyroid, you got to look at the overall system. The thyroid is intimately connected to the adrenals. And these are 2 organ systems that function and they're actually regulate your metabolic rate. The thyroid's going to regulate your metabolic rate and your cell function under normal conditions. If you have stress or tissue damage or a toxic lifestyle, by gosh, that's going to kick the adrenals. Now, if the adrenals are up, the thyroid's going to be low. So never, ever, ever, if you're diagnosed with a thyroid issue, because this can show up on a blood test, you've got to look for why. If somebody says, oh, you've got a low functioning thyroid, ask the doctor point blank, why? If they say you've got a high functioning thyroid or hyperthyroid, ask the doctor why. They're not answering these questions because they're just looking at a blood test and giving a drug. And so the thyroid, I like to use the analogy, it's more like the canary in the mine shaft. The thyroid's going to be affected by diet, nutrition, and stress. And so if you have a poor toxic diet or a diet deficient in iodine or a diet that's toxic with fast food or processed food or toxic bread products, that's going to slow down the thyroid function. If you have a diet high in polyunsaturated fats, I mean, look at every packaged product out there. If it has canola oil, which is toxic to the thyroid, corn oil, toxic to the thyroid, soy oil or soy products, toxic to the thyroid, and you've got a low functioning thyroid, to take a thyroxine or some type of Synthroid or some type of medication, that's just flat out foolish. You got to find out why the thyroid's not functioning in the first place. You shouldn't take a poison that decreases the function of an organ and then take a drug to counteract the effects of the poison. It's like,
Family, community, and friends, just take a deep breath. I know you got your pen and paper out. Just take a deep breath. Just breathe. It's all right. We know how you've been thinking. It's okay. It's time to expand our awareness, and we can do this now. It's really, really good. No need to get mad. No need to get upset. Don't blame nobody. Don't turn anything around. Just honor and love yourself right now and say, I got this. I got this now. Talk to us about the kidney.
Doc, I love you. Your heart and love is just right on your shirt sleeve there. The kidneys are now the one beautiful thing about the kidneys is they filter blood so rapidly, and they're one of the fastest healing organs. One of the damaging things about the kidney is if you have toxic blood, the kidneys are going to be affected very, very rapidly. It's like an aspirin is one of the leading causes of kidney disease. And what do they give? An aspirin is one of the most popular drugs out there for a healthy heart, even though it's not the healthiest drug for the heart. In fact, it's toxic to the kidneys, increases brain damage, and you can take a number of things to help blood. One of the best blood thinners out there is water. So if you get any toxic substance in the blood, such as processed food or medications or environmental toxicities, those kidneys have to filter it. And since those kidneys can get clogged as well, let's say someone has taken an antacid. If you're decreasing the acid in your stomach, the blood vessels, you don't break down the protein, so the blood vessels get sticky. Let's say you're having a diet high in polyunsaturated fats. Again, that causes the blood vessels to get sticky. And if the blood vessels get sticky, they start to form what's called rouleau coin formation. The blood vessels start to clump together. And I know you've heard that blood clots in the arteries. It doesn't clot in the arteries. It clumps together in the arteries. And that comes from a toxic lifestyle. When you get this clumpy blood flowing through that kidney filter, you're going to start to damage the kidneys. And that's going to cause inflammation. Inflammation is going to cause the body to repair the tissue and to secrete an anti-inflammatory. So the body's going to increase cholesterol production to make the cortisol. However, the cortisol is made, that's going to cause the thyroid to slow down function. And so everything's connected. There's such a beautiful harmony in the body. So if you have kidney damage, you're going to see the effect in the thyroid, in the adrenals, in the cholesterol. And it all has to do with how your body processes nutrients and how the system is designed. There's got to be an appreciation in the medical world that nobody has a thyroid issue. Nobody has high blood pressure. Nobody has high cholesterol. Your body is adapting to toxic deficient circumstances. You're not going to help that person unless you correct the toxic deficient circumstances with sufficiency, with purity, with what the body requires, with respect.
With respect. And we got to respect ourselves first. RESPECT. Find out what it means to me.
You're right.
Yeah, I know it's poetry month. I might just go there. But Dr. Bergman, I'm thanking you. I know we're coming up on our time, but I want to cover two more things that I think one person has a question for you. People believe growing old, we're going to get sick. And we're going to have body going to break down. And we're going to have that number 1A thing, arthritis. What's that all about?
Well, that's arthritis as a result of trauma, not age. I've got the 189-year-old guy. He's got 4 perfect discs in his neck. He's got 3 that are damaged from arthritis. And last time I checked, all of those discs are the same age. So arthritis... The most common type of arthritis is called degenerative disc disease or osteoarthritis. We actually have a website called thearthritisreversalsystem.com. So it's www.thearthritisreversalsystem.com. And what we talk about is how to regenerate joints. Discs can regrow. Bone spurs can be resorbed into the body. And so not only is arthritis not a sentence, it's not hereditary, and it can be reversed if caught in time. And as we age, we don't break down. What happens as we age, since your body is constantly regenerating, in fact, your skin is 28 days old, your blood is 120 days old, and this is every 120 days, whether you're 14 or whether you're 100 years old, your blood is always being replaced. The reason we look older is because we're replacing our body. We need proteins. We need amino acids. We need carbohydrates. We need those fats broken down to fatty acids. As we age, we produce less acid. And one of the hardest things in digestion to break down is proteins to amino acids. So as we age, if we're not taking digestive enzymes or if we're not juicing or blending, we're not breaking those proteins to amino acids, so we can't regenerate tissue as fast. However, we can counteract that as we age. If you're over 50, and by gosh, I'm over 50, you got to take digestive enzymes, you got to do juicing and blending, And what that'll do, that'll give you the building materials so that you can regenerate the body healthy and young, and so that you have that vibrancy. And that's the only thing that causes people to age, is the lack of the ability to break proteins to amino acids, fats to fatty acids, and carbohydrates to usable sugars. You help that digestion, your body can regenerate.
That's why less is best. Less is best.
I like
Nutrition, that's what we need. And I know we're coming up on a time, but on your way leaving out, I know Wanda has a question for you. I think we have a caller on the line that may want to ask a question of you. But on your way leaving out, we talk so much about the physical body, and we know everything is one. There's no separation. Everything is interrelated and everything is interconnected. But a lot of what people are experiencing is because we are electrical beings, and we're going to talk about that when you leave the show, we are having some effect with electromagnetic sensitivity. And so on your way leaving out, I just want you to touch that electrical body a little bit. But Wanda, what would you like to say to Dr. Bergman?
I just want to ask Dr. Bergman one question, and that is about cancer and the fact that we all have the cancer gene. If you can expound upon that, that would be great.
No cancer gene, cancer thought. Go ahead, Dr. Bergman.
Well, I'll say this. The scientists report.
The scientists report, right. No cancer gene, cancer thought. Cancer thought. But go ahead, Dr. Bergman. I had to get that in, Wanda. You know me. I just came out.
Well, you're actually more correct scientifically when you say cancer thought. There's a difference between gene and gene expression. And this is where the medical community and the media is getting it totally missed. In order to have a cancer gene expressed, okay, where it's actually going to produce the proteins that cause cancer, you need to have certain stimulus. So there's a control above the gene. It's called epigenetic control. And we've known this. It's just the problem with epigenetic control means that the control of gene expression, because you can have the cancer gene. I got the cancer gene, okay, and I'm not expressing that gene because of my lifestyle factors, which include thought, nutrition, exercise, nerve supply, sleep, rest, regeneration. So I can choose to express that cancer gene or suppress the expression of that cancer gene. So a disease that you're not born with can either be expressed or suppressed. And that's one of the things that the media is missing about the epigenetic or control above and beyond the gene. So you can have that. I mean, your mother can have cancer, your aunt can have cancer, your sister can have cancer. You can avoid it by avoiding the expression of that gene. And that's in your control by controlling your thought, your nutrition, your nerve supply, your sleep, your stress level. All of that can control the expression of a cancer gene.
Yeah, and it's more to that junk DNA as well.
That's what we are talking about. We have a caller on 404. Do you have a question or comment for Dr. Bergman, and you want to introduce yourself, or are you just listening?
I'm just listening.
Okay.
I'm just listening. I'm in 404. My name is Michelle Edmonds, and I'm a nutritionist. Dr. Bergman, just want to thank you so much. You are answering questions that my community asked on the call last evening, and I just want to thank you for your wisdom. Just excellent.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Woo-woo. So, Dr. Bergman, I want to thank you for joining us. When you leave, we're going to be talking about the electric body and why we are electrical beings. And so every part of us is electrical, especially our blood and water. So on your way out, you want to share a little bit about that and your 2 websites and your YouTube channel and how people can reach you.
Well, Doc, it's been an honor being on your station here. I love it. You can invite me back anytime. Our websites are owners-guide.com. That's owners-guide.com. And that one's just fun. You can go on there. We have all our videos. What's neat about that is you can get the handouts, you can get the flyers, you can get the PowerPoints, you can get the research, everything. And then our YouTube site is John B. like boy Cairo. And that's John B. Cairo because I'm not real creative. My first name's John, my last name I'm chiropractic. And that's our channel. I think we're up to 400 and almost 50 videos now.
Yes.
And then we have the arthritisreversalsystem.com, which is That's going to be life-changing. That's where people can get on there and realize that their body can reverse degeneration. And when you talk about the body electric, you're right. You're more energy than matter. And your thoughts are chemicals, actually. In fact, emotions are chemicals. And these chemicals are produced from connections inside of your brain. So if you think a negative thought, or you think a fearful thought, your body is going to change your physiology to match your thought. So your thought is so intimately involved in generating healthy tissue or generating disease. Doc, you're absolutely right on with that.
Dr. Bergman, I just so love you. I am so thankful. I am so thankful for my student last year. Round about this time, I think that's when I met you. She called me up on the phone and she said, Dr. Karen, this is guy on a YouTube. He sounds just like you. I said, if he's older than me, I more or less sound like him. But the same information introduced me to you. I went out into your videos. It saved me so much time. And why not? Everything's one and we all are connected. So I'm thankful for all the videos you have out there on every subject that anybody think that they have about a disease, which is truly a cellular malfunction in the physical world. That's all it is. You created it and you can correct it. And Dr. Bergman has a video out there on every fibromyalgia, anything you can think of, those 10,000 names out there to help you correct your own thinking and your own process. And I honor you and I thank you so much for the work that you're doing and how you're helping people raise their vibrations, step up out of the dark ages of disease care, and tune into themselves with the power of love. Thank you, Dr. Bergman.
God bless you, Doc. Thanks again. Bye.
Woo-hoo. Appreciate you. Woo! Everybody breathing out there?
Yes.
We got to take that breath. Powerful. So we're going to take a commercial break, and then we're going to come back and talk a little bit about what Dr. Bergman shared with us in the electrical body.
The future of disease prevention and treatment will not be found in your medicine cabinet, but in your kitchen, your garden, and your refrigerator, but mostly in yourself through self-health care consciousness. The Arc of Self-Healing and Self-Help is bringing the 4th Annual Emancipate Yourself from Medical Mental Slavery Day awards program to Washington, D.C. on April 30th at the Arc, 1901 Mississippi Avenue Southeast at 6 p.m. and will honor 8 individuals who've made a conscious shift away from disease care. This year's theme, a return to self-care, self-love, creating a new relationship with self. Dr. Marcus Lorenzo Penn, founder and CEO of Self-Care Reform Health and Wellness Consultation Services, will be presented with the Community Visionary Award for his pioneering work as a leader in the conscious self-health care movement. Dr. Kokai Patterson, founder of the African Holistic Health Association, will present a Community Pioneer Award to a deserving honoree. And this year's keynote speaker is Jamila Shabazz, founder of the Healing Center, public speaker, author, and professional international channel for spiritual guide Light Energy John Christopher. The 4th Annual Emancipate Yourself from Medical Mental Slavery Day Awards Program, Wednesday, April 30th. Call Dr. Karen Davis-Foulks at 202-248-7749. That's 202-248-7749 for tickets and information. No tickets available at the door. This event will sell out, so please get your tickets now. Tickets also available at www.gofundme.com/self-love.
That is just grooving. And Jamal has just got us moving. So thankful for the message that came from Dr. Bergman today. expand your awareness, open your mind and open your heart and allow this new information to come in. And don't blame yourself and don't hate anybody, and be thankful that you have this information that you can now take control of your life. Take your health care back. What information are you using to provide care for your body? You just got some new information. You can make some conscious changes right now. April is Conscious Self-Health Care Month, proclaimed by me and all the practitioners out there that's in self-health care. They don't know it or not, but they are part of that month, this month as well. It's through a we energy, it's through a one consciousness that is moving forward. So now you know what medical hexing is. And now you have the option of going back and asking that one simple question. Instead of accepting their diagnosis and what they say, just ask why. Why? Why? And see where you come to. Just ask why. Health is all about consciousness, and healing is a function of consciousness. And it's time to expand our awareness into a new arena of frequency. Wanda, how was that talk for you today?
It was great, Karen. I really love Dr. Bergman. Every time I hear him, I learn something new all the time. But I loved what he said about the gene and the fact that it's all epigenetics. Epigenetics has a lot to do with the expression of the gene. And when you study science and DNA, and you find out the new science around DNA, it's really mind-boggling now, because what they consider junk DNA is not junk DNA at all. There's so many things that are happening with the DNA strand that are stopping from genes to be expressed and the proteins. I mean, it's just so much happening.
It's a blueprint, and that blueprint, your DNA is a blueprint. That's all it is. It's a blueprint. It's a foundation. Like you have a blueprint to build a house. You have a blueprint to build something. You read it, and you bring it into life. And so through our own cognitive thinking ability, we bring the blueprint into life, and we can create and carry our bodies back and forth as much as we need. And so we don't inherit anything. They do know about genes. This is the physical world. They can say that this gene is working this way, and they can say that this gene is in this negative community over here, but that gene does not have to be expressed, and with me, I just go straight to the absolute. So the gene is what you say it is, and I'm glad, Dr. Bergman, you broke that out, because, they do say you do have these genes, and epigenetics says is if you decide to express those genes, they will come into the being. That means that you took a hold of that belief.
That's right. You're the contractor.
Yeah. You the director, you the character.
Yeah. What materials are you going to use?
Right.
You're going to use cheap materials?
Yes. I was thankful. Monday night I did a call. Michelle Edmonds was on the line, and Michelle Edmonds is a nutritionist and amongst other things, but she has a group called Serenity Challenge, and my passion with going into the churches, and definitely the African American churches, and talking to our people there and getting the pastors involved in it. So her program, Serenity Challenge, she is targeting going into churches and helping them address the physical body within their church and helping their congregants really get healthy and loving this body that they're talking about, not in the terms of having this body be the way it's going to be when you leave, but honoring this temple that you are in right now and doing it through the word of using those particular books to assist you. And so I'm loving what Michelle is doing, and we're partnering now, and I'm going to have her back on the show to talk about we're going to talk in a few minutes, and we're going to talk about that sodium potassium pump again, because if you want to understand why you are an electrical being, it has everything to do with how the cells do their job. So talking about that's great. But I wanted people to think about this to make things simplistic for you, because I kept saying the word is simplistic. When I first became a nest provider, I had a scientist that came to me because he wanted to understand the whole information behind the Nest Health System, quantum fields, and all this information, and how Nest was working to view the body and then using information to help the body correct itself. So he wanted to do his own research. So he came to me for about 4 months, doing Nest scans, doing his research and everything. Then he looked up at a thing I had on my wall, and he talked the word believe. And he was like, do you know what's inside of the word believe? And I'm like, what? I'm just listening. He said the word lie. I said, interesting. So it's almost like I believe that this is a lie, that this is not true. And I said, that's interesting and that's wonderful. I choose to look at the word believe because a lot of people use the word believe in history and it helps people move forward. But if I wanted to see anything in that word believe, I would see be. Be who you are. Stop doing and living for the external world. Be the divine being that you are. Know thyself. When you know thyself, you will understand the things that Dr. Bergman has shared with you and a lot of other people are sharing with you. And one way that you can keep this simplistic is by using the principle of Occam's razor. The principle of Occam's razor, OCCAMS, razor. It states that among competing hypotheses, the hypothesis with the fewest assumptions should be selected. In other words, the simplest explanation is usually the correct one. Now, you can use pharmaceuticals, you can have surgery, you can have radiation, and you feel that some people feel that they get well and they get wonderfully well. And everybody's allowed to be where they are. But is that the simplest and the most non-invasive method that you can take to bring your body back into balance? Why choose to go and send your body through all of that turmoil when you can just begin to love yourself naturally and take care of yourself and give your body what you need? The principle of Occam's razor. Write it down. Think about it. And all this information that you're hearing will be easy for you to digest. The stomach, digest, and assimilate it throughout your body. How about that, Wanda?
Loving it.
Occam's razor. I'm thankful for the gentleman that brought me that information. He said, you make everything so simple, Dr. Karen. And, Dr. K, I don't think it's that simplistic, but you make everything simple. Do you know about the principles of Occam's razor? I said, no, but I said, thank you very much, because I'm going to use that now when I talk to people. Let's just make it simple. That's it. Let's just make this
making
simple.
It simple is for people to understand much easier when we make things simple. But people don't like to make things simple. They like to complicate things so they can appear to be smarter or whatever. But we don't have to do that. Mm-hmm. It can be broken down, just like we were talking about the medical terms, medical terminology that's often in Latin or Greek. Once you know Latin or Greek, it's easy to really understand what's going on with you when a doctor tells you you have a particular symptom.
You got an example of that, Wanda? Because they wouldn't let me in the Western Medical School because I couldn't pronounce these words, let alone about the Latin.
Well, let's say hypertension. Hypertension.
Let me stop. Go ahead. You got an example.
Excessive tension. Start there. But
okay.
For example, like the amygdala, mm-hmm. Which is a region in the brain and the limbic system where the pineal gland is. Well, amygdala comes from, I think it's the Latin word for almond. So, because it's an almond shape. It's a little small almond shape organ in the body, which is called the third eye. And there are many other terms that medically, that if you break down the suffix and the prefix, you will definitely understand, and especially if you learn Latin, what they're talking about.
Right, you won't be so fearful. You really know what they're talking about. But when you were talking about that, I'm looking up at this information I have right here in my office, and it was like cognitive dissonance. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This is why people get upset when you challenge what they hold most closely. And people hold dearly to believing in their doctors because they use that terminology, my doctor. My doctor. He's my doctor. And my doctor says this and my doctor says that. And then I have my disease. It's a language that you're used to, and you have imprinted that language in your brain pathways, and it needs to be uprooted. And you can do that. But sometimes they say cognitive dissonance, mental conflict that occurs when beliefs are assumptions are contradicted by new information. So this is new information, and a lot of people are processing, saying, no, we know. I've seen people suffer. I've seen people go this. No, they are having a disease. Their body is breaking down. You know this information. The concept was introduced by psychologists in the late 1950s. He later researched showing that when confronted with challenging new information, most people seek to preserve their current understanding of the world by rejecting, expanding away, or avoiding the new information, or by convincing themselves that no conflict really exists. Cognitive dissonance is nonetheless considered and explained for attitude change. So we know that it's challenged to have this information because people just don't want to take responsibility and say that I've created these cellular malfunctions. But when you take the disease name away and call it a cellular malfunction, and you learn how your cells operate, you know how you can quickly make changes from no matter what they have said to you, no matter what name they've said, what treatment that you're using. You can choose to begin to change your thinking, to express the way your genes are thinking. As you heard, your thoughts come into the body and they produce a chemical response in your body. And this is not inorganic chemical. This is, in your body. You want to bring about the organicness within you. So you want to adjust the way you're thinking and the way you're responding to what's going on. So I just want to talk a little bit about the electrical body. And it builds upon our last conversation last week, talking about the sodium-potassium pump. Wanda, the sodium-potassium pump.
Yes, Karen, you explained that very well last week, and I think you should go over it a little bit so people can understand. But keep in mind that everything starts at a level that's below that.
Yeah. When we want to get back to those electrical pathways that Dr. Bergman and that we talk about, but we'll keep it on the material level a little bit, because just remember, it's mind over matter, not matter over mind. So I'll bring it up to the point so I can bring in the electrical body. Thank you, Wanda. I'll recap. Got a little sheet right here for you. The human body is an electrical being. Everything vibrates and nothing rests. The life processes have been found to generate electrical fields in every organism that has been examined, and the delicate balance distribution of minerals in and around a living cell, whether plant or animal, accounts for its electrical properties. The sodium-potassium pump, which is generated by sodium and potassium, two very key minerals. Sodium-potassium pump is the cell. Produces the electrical energy that makes it possible for a person to breathe, walk, talk, see, think. The whole body works off it electrically, off the energy produced by the sodium-potassium pump. In essence, the human body is an electrical being, and our health, strength, and endurance depends upon the energy currents that run through the body. The energy currents. The water is electric. The blood is electric. Cells are electric. You are an electrical being. Inside the cell, the potassium level must remain high. The sodium level must remain low. And this is a very delicate balance. Outside of the cell is the opposite. Anything that will upset the sodium-potassium balance inside the cell will damage or kill the cell. The main purpose of the pump is to pull excess sodium out of the cell and bring potassium, all your vital minerals that make up the energy field around the cell is made. That chemical process that they're talking about is actually the minerals, all 90 essential minerals that you need in your body every day. And the purpose of eating the foods is to provide your body with those minerals from the food. That's why Dr. Bergman talks so much about the food. The food is devalued. It has no minerals in it. And Lord knows if it came from a box. It looks like food. They're calling it food, but it's not food, fuel, F-U-E-L, for the cells. It's just something that you are enjoying. So the foods you're eating is not putting the minerals in your body to allow the sodium and potassium pump to generate the field of minerals. Then you have a stagnation in production and how the body is performing. This temple that we use to move about around in this world is a living, breathing being. And we are alive, and our body needs and wants live food, natural nutrition to create harmony and balance within the body. We want to create a homeostasis state. And so you want balance in homeostasis. You want everything to have the right consistency, the right viscosity of the blood, the water moving throughout the body. You want everything to be in its proper balance so that the body chemistry can perform itself correctly. So it's very important about the foods we eat. And that's what throws the chemical compound off in the body. And that's what allows you to lose electricity and allows you to lose power within the body. It's so important. And to really make it really plain and simple, with all that we're going through, if people would drink more water, more good, ionic, clean water, you will begin to shift a lot of things going on in your body. And one of them is the constipation. So how are we electrical beings? The sodium, potassium pump, the minerals that we take into our bodies help create that field. And so there's a field around every cell, a field of energy. But that field also carries information within it. And so according to how things work, that information can become stagnated. It can become blocked. So we really have to really think about the foods that we're putting into our body, and if it's nourishing food or if it's food that's taking away the minerals from our bodies, because everything is electrical.
Beautifully said. Yeah, the point I was going to make is simply, if you look at the atom, it is in the nucleus of the atom are neutrons and protons. And revolving around the outside of the atom is the electron, which is negatively charged. The protons are positively charged. The neutrons are neutral. And the atom is much like a vortex, and these atoms have the same number of protons as they do electrons. So the whole thing is repulsion and attraction. And the body is kind of based on that. Actually, our whole lives on Earth are based on polarities, if you think about it, right? And so when people talk about free radicals, it all has to do with when the number of electrons are oddly paired, and they can cause a little bit of havoc if you don't have like antioxidants to balance and defend them.
That's
a whole nother subject, but
I know. And we're coming up on that, and we're so excited because actually after this month, I am going to be talking more about the subatomic particle level. And that's why we want people to understand that every cell has a field. The body has a field, the human body field. Some people know it as the aura. We have this field, and this field has information in it, and it's communication. But the connection between the energetic body and the physical body, how do we keep that connection, is by powering our cells, because we create a polarity field within our bodies. From every cell that generates this polarity field that speaks to the human body field. And the human body field speaks to the polarity field within the body. And the information comes in through your consciousness, through your thinking, and it tells your body what to do and how to perform. And the thing that connects it all is the breath. And that's why the simple formula is oxygen pumps electricity power. We have to breathe. We have to deep breathe. And you will always hear any practitioner or anyone that understands the life processes. You have to breathe. That's how you purify your body, by the connection with the breath and the lymphatic system. You know, we want to be thankful. You know, Dr. Bergman didn't talk about tumors and things like that, but that's your body protecting you. And your body can correct those things when it happens. It's not to have your body open up and cut to move your body parts out. You know, you don't want that to happen. You want to do the things you need to do to encourage the body to break things up on its own. And America needs to poop and drink water. That's one of the major things going on, and they provide no nutrition for their bodies because the food is not nutrition. It's not. It really isn't. And all you're going through, it can be simply changed by providing your body with nutrition, with water, to poop, and have a great consciousness about life. You have to be happy. Health starts with being happy. Those who are happy are much, 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 much healthier. And we know this. We're going to take a station break, and we're going to come back and talk more about Emancipation Day.
Are you looking to raise funds for your organization? Do you want to help others from becoming a healthcare statistic? If so, join our effort, The Art of Shift, designed to help organizations to increase funds while raising consciousness to a new level of health awareness and abundance through art. Composed to reprogram the subconscious mind, the Emancipate Yourself from Medical Mental Slavery art print by Wanda K. Whitaker symbolizes the breaking away from the old paradigm of putting all the responsibility on the physician to conscious self-care healthcare. The art print contains symbols representing sacred geometry, healing color frequencies, and ancient knowledge. Knowledge that alerts the conscious mind to make a shift towards conscious healthcare. Place your order today and receive the licensing rights to print the image yourself, or buy a print for as low as $15. The choice is yours. For more information, visit www.4celllife.com.
Conscious self-love. Time to evaluate. Mental observation view essential for your success. It's time to think before you move. Become the observer of your life. Become the observer of your life. Take the opportunity to just sit back and see just what you've been doing and how you have been doing it, and see if you need to do something different to make your life better for yourself. The spirit is life. The mind is the builder. The physical is the result. How you want the physical to look and move about on planet Earth, change your thinking. You'll change your life. You'll build a new body. You know, Wanda, when I was on Michelle's show last night, Energy had me pull down my book, Step Up Out of the Dark Ages of Disease Care. And when I did, I wanted to know what it wanted me to show. And it wanted me to talk about George Washington's Army and one of the signers of the Declaration of Independence. And so with everything that we've been talking about to our listeners, and just to be a reminder to ourselves and to our new listeners, let's look at it from this perspective. Dr. Benjamin Rush, Surgeon General of George Washington's Army and the signer of the Declaration of Independence, stated, "Unless we put medical freedom into the Constitution, the time will come when medicine will organize into an undercover dictatorship to restrict the art of healing to one class of men, conventional orthodox treatment, and deny equal privileges to others. All such laws are un-American and despotic and have no place in a republic. The Constitution of this republic should make special provisions for medical freedom as well as religious freedom." So we have the religious freedom, and they want to take away your medical freedom even more. But we don't have to really be concerned, and we don't have to get into a negative vibration, because you are the owner of your body. And you don't have to volunteer yourself to go and have anything done to your body. And you don't have to put these chemicals in your body. You can make the choice, because they're not going to relinquish their authority. They want to keep you in fear. And to get out of the fear state, you just have to love and honor yourself and know how to take care of your body. So, Wanda.
Yes. Oh, the fear state. Wow. Now
Is everybody in the fear state? Are they holding their breaths? Are they not breathing?
they're not breathing,
Hyperventilating?
hyperventilating.
Fear, resisting change, not trusting the process, not loving themselves. Take a deep breath, family, and breathe.
You know, Kay, a good exercise for people to do is sit down, close their eyes, and then just simply take a deep breath and do it 30 times, slowly, as slow as possible.
So much will change.
Slow as possible. Breathing in and breathing out. And you'd be surprised how your body will feel.
Oh, it changes everything. It changes everything.
And
so take a breath.
And if you say Om, mantra is Om, and you sing out Om as long as you can. Wow, it's very interesting that there's an electrical measurement called Ohm. It's a measurement of resistance. And so when I find myself, and I really notice this, I have a lot of plants around me when I'm meditating, but I notice when I am chanting Om, I look at my plants, they are happy as a lark. They start growing. And so it's something about that frequency, which we didn't get into, frequency and vibration, that allows for growth. And so when you're in your body and you are chanting Om, it doesn't have to be, it can be silently done as well. It will cause a great shift within your body.
Yes, it will. And most definitely will. Being still, period, you know. And most people say, I don't know how to meditate. Just be still. That's all you have to do is be still. And things will happen just the way you want them to happen. But Wanda, people got to let go. They got to shake it off. They got to stretch their arms. They got to breathe. They got to be like the eagle and fly and stop being like the chicken.
Well, I think you made a statement the other day, and you said something about people have to be not afraid to die.
Ooh, Wanda.
Because we don't really die. That's what people don't know.
Right.
And that's what's keeping them so stressed.
Yeah, and not wanting to accept the term cellular malfunction over top of the disease. And so, you know, life is wonderful, family, community, and we honor those individuals that take back control of their health. And we have so much fun on Emancipate Yourself from Medical Mental Slavery Day. And I'm so excited about the individuals that we are going to be honoring, and they're going to share their stories of how they just did one step at a time, chose to do something different, and then amazing things started happening in their life. And little by little, they looked at their belief system, they looked at their value system, and they just looked at all the information they had been given over the years. And they decided that they wanted to create a whole new program within themselves and do something totally different so they can have a different outcome, a different result with their bodies. And you can do the same thing. And it's going to be some amazing stories from people being told that they, had mental issues to different kinds of level of diseases within their bodies, and they couldn't change things because it was hereditary and it was going to be that way all their life. And they just decided to just think a different way, to take the opportunity to say, I know about that, then let me go ahead and move forward and do this, do something different and see what it will bring me. And so we love the fact that we can honor people for doing that. And that's what this show is really all about. This show is really supposed to be a show where people just call in and just the phone just ringing off the hook, people just saying, well, I had this and this is what I did and I'm free of that and I'm free of this and I don't do medication anymore. We want this show to just be bursting with all this positive energy of happiness. And like I say, so we honor you on that day. And we also honor a community visionary that's in the community that's making great changes to assist us. And this year we're going to be honoring Dr. Penn, Dr. Marcus Lorenzo Penn. But I had that information in front of me. Wanda, you can tell a little bit about Dr. Penn for me while I find my sheet. I got it. we're going to be honoring Dr. Penn. We are really, really excited to honor Dr. Penn this year, the Community Visionary Award recipient for 2014. This award is given to a unique innovator and trailblazer who is shifting the consciousness of humanity and the community to take responsibility for health and healing, making the transition from a false reality of fear and disease care to a reality of truth and love to conscious self-health care. Dr. Penn is a native of San Francisco, California. He attended school at Howard University, and we're just so thankful that he went through medical school and decided that he did not want to do it the standard way. Is that right, Wanda?
Now, you also have to take in consideration he graduated from Morehouse as well.
Go ahead.
He's a bright individual who has been working very diligently in the San Francisco Bay Area, and particularly in communities and underrepresented communities such as Oakland, California. And he is a yoga instructor, and that's how he came up with his prescription for the community, in that after taking yoga and becoming a yoga instructor, he decided, no, there's another way to do this.
Mm-hmm. Poses for prescription. Not giving out pharmaceuticals, and understanding the value and the love of the human body. It's wonderful. Our guest speaker is Jamila A. Shabazz, and she is going to be channeling Light Energy John Christopher, and he has a wonderful message that he is going to be sharing with the community. And Dr. Penn and Jamila is our guest next week, and they are going to be sharing more information about what they do and what they'll be doing at the Emancipation Program. And so we want to thank you so much, family and community and friends, for joining us on Heart to Heart. Information for Healthy Living. You can go to my website, the YouTube channel, friend me on Facebook, LinkedIn, tweet, all that information out there. Let's connect and let's get everybody moving forward. Conscious self-health care, making a move, mental observation view is essential for your success. Wanda, how can people reach you?
They can reach me by going to my website, which is www.anchoredinspirit.com. They can also call me, 415-760-7751. or email me at anchoredinspirit@yahoo.com.
I want to thank Dr. John Bergman, and I want to thank you for community for joining us to this evening. And I just want to thank y'all so much for just spreading the word and moving people forward, and just giving people a little gentle nudge and say, you want to do it a little bit different, tune into this radio show. They got some information that can assist you with making a change. And so as we close out tonight, I'm going to leave you with this wonderful message from Light Energy John Christopher, and you can hear Jamila channel him live at our event this year. He says, for a human to now create having pure health in the body, they cannot even feel connected to illness exists. They have to have zero vibration to that. They cannot believe it. They cannot read about it. They cannot look at it. They cannot connect to it. They cannot go into a hospital and feel that these humans are sick and these humans are ill. They can only connect to pure health. If you connect to that, dear one, and a lot of your energies on earth in the healthcare industry have a lot of illness because they are vibrating to illness is real. You want to vibrate to health is real. Dr. Karen, you work with people that say they're sick. How can you possibly say that? Because I see you as being healthy, whole, and complete. I don't see the sickness in you. You are not diseased. You are magnificent, full of love, light, energy, and the divineness of one. Thank you so much for tuning in. We love you. Heart to heart. Come get on board. Get on.
Shake a hand, shake a hand. Well, talking about the friendship train. Get on board and shake a hand, make a friend. People listen to us now. Harmony is the key. My sisters and brothers. Oh, yes, it is. I said harmony is the key. My sisters and brothers. People, we can't wait, 'cause another day might be too late. Come on, get on the friendship train. Everybody, shake a hand, shake a hand.
Greetings, family. We had a great time today on Heart to Heart Healthy Living with Dr. K. Thank you so much for tuning in, getting happy, getting healthier. So we invite you to tune in next Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Inner Life Radio, the healing frequency. It is time to get happy, to be healthy, and live the life that you want to live. Tune in again next week, Heart to Heart Healthy Living with Dr. K. And we also invite you to tune into the Saging Baby Boom Show with Mama Ayo Handy Kendi. That's every Thursday at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, right here on InnerLightRadio.com, the healing frequency. It's all about love, family, and community. Love is all there is, and we are one.